Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, February 24th, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. A San Diego County tribe claims developers bulldozed a sacred site during construction of a road. The Pauma Band of Luiseno Indians has occupied land in Fallbrook, where Palomar College is building Horse Ranch Creek Road to serve its future campus and 3 future housing and commercial developments. Tribal officials say the bulldozers cleared an area considered sacred at 6:30 a.m. Thursday, February 23rd, despite a county noise ordinance banning work until 7 a.m. They said the work was done before monitors required by state law arrived. The tribe says it's guarding several uncleared sites where ancient human remains and artifacts were found. A college statement says it will work with the Native American community as the road work continues. An Alberta First Nation that says its treaty rights were violated when the province granted oil sands leases to Shell Canada has lost its bid to take the case to the country's top court. The Supreme Court of Canada on February 23rd announced it would not hear the appeal from the Athabasca Chipewyan First Nation. Shell's Athabasca Oil Sands project, Canada's third largest oil sands mining development, is in the First Nations traditional territory in northeastern Alberta. Under Treaty 8, which enshrines the rights of Aboriginal peoples to hunt, fish, and trap on their traditional lands, the government has a duty to consult with First Nations that might be affected by any development on their lands before breaking ground on the project. The Alberta Energy Ministry's policy is to consult with Aboriginal groups when development has the potential to adversely affect traditional uses and their constitutionally protected rights to hunt, trap, and fish. In this case, the Alberta government contends that by posting a notice online via an Aboriginal community link about land sales and the award of leases, it fulfilled its obligation. The Supreme Court decisions comes amid growing international controversy over the impact of oil sands development on air, land, water, and local communities. Kevin Costner's legal battle with an artist he commissioned to create sculptures of charging bison is heading back to court in South Dakota. Costner hired Peggy Detmeyers to make 17 bronze figures of Native Americans hunting bison in the early 1990s so he could display them at a planned 5-star hotel. The resort never came to fruition, and in 2006, Costner decided to donate the Lakota Bison Jump collection to his Tatanka Museum near the town of Deadwood. Detmeyers was not happy with the placement change, and she sued for breach of contract in 2009. She lost a suit last summer when a judge ruled in Costner's favor. But Detmeyers now is appealing the decision, and judges at the South Dakota Supreme Court have agreed to hear the case on March 19th. First Nations along British Columbia's north and central coast say it's unfathomable that Transport Canada approves the use of oil supertankers in the province's treacherous inlet and marine passages. Coastal First Nations Executive Director Art Sturrett says the department's ruling ignores safety issues such as poor weather, human error, and the narrow, unforgiving waterways. Transport Canada filed its report on February 23rd to the regulatory panel weighing Enbridge's $5.5 billion proposal to ship Alberta crude to the West Coast by pipeline and export the oil to the Asian markets via supertankers loaded in Kitimat. The report does not identify any regulatory concerns and says residual risks are present in any project. Sturrett says that the nonsensical and shocking because a recent study by Coastal First Nations suggests that tanker spills could cost $23 billion, creating catastrophic economic, environmental, and cultural damage. Enbridge says that the pipeline will bring jobs and economic development to northern British Columbia, but opponents insist that the risk is too high, and they have packed joint review panel hearings underway across British Columbia and Alberta through 2013. Following the lead of other states, Oregon will reconsider the use of Native American mascots and logos by its state's high schools. The Oregon Department of Education will address the topic at public hearings on March 8th and 9th. The issue has generated feverish debate on both sides nationally, and the same is expected in Oregon. An official with the Department of Education said the issue is being revisited because of concerns that continued usage of Native American mascots and names may not be healthy and safe for our children. Currently, there are 16 high schools that have Native American mascot names in Oregon. Margaret Noori, director of the University of Michigan's Comprehensive Studies program and a lecturer in the Ojibwe language and literature, is combining her background in linguistics and marketing with a facility for social media and technology to leverage interest in the Ojibwe language. Noori made a presentation on crossing the digital divide to help save endangered and minority languages on February 17th at the annual meeting of the American Association for the Advancement of Science in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. In her talk, she explored ways that tools of modern life, from Facebook and Twitter to YouTube, are helping to keep native language of the Ojibwe people alive. We started our website, ojibwe.net, in 2006, Noori said. The goal to produce proficiency in the next generation and to archive the contributions of fluent elders. The website now contains more than 450 audio files in addition to lessons, songs, and stories. According to Noori, about 400 people in Michigan now use the language, but about 80% of the Anishinaabe-Mowen speakers are over the age of 65. She estimates that the total number of speakers, including those from other states and from Canada, at about 15,000 or less. And IndianCountryTV.com is headed to the Menominee Territory to live stream its second annual Menominee Casino Resort Winter Welcome Powwow on Saturday, February 25th. Broadcast will begin around 1 p.m. at IndianCountryTV.com. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.